Oh, hello, fourth graders. I was just sitting here contemplating, wishing I could be somewhere else in the world just to travel, just to continue to learn about countries, so fascinated by them. I was just curious and wondering about a place called Japan. Like, how many earthquakes does Japan have in a year? Or what's the favorite food in Japan? In the sport of sumo wrestling, how do you win? So we're going to be looking at a book called A Visit to Japan. And it is another book in our series of nonfiction that we are trying to take a deeper dive into figuring out what kinds of facts and information are involved in about countries. So today we're going to be looking at Japan. So Japan is located here in Asia, and you'll see a little bit in yellow right off of China, the coast there, and Vietnam and a lot of other Asian countries that we're aware of. Of course, we're over here in North America, up here in Seattle. I'm going to start just breezing through this because I think we're getting the feel for what it takes to write in a nonfiction manner to create something that would be in the context of a country report, which is part of our assignment that we're going to be doing shortly here. So let me breeze through this. Table of contents. This is one that has just many topics. You can see as I page through, it shows where Japan is, kind of zeroing in on the country itself. It's made up of over 4,000 islands. I found that fascinating. But there's 4 distinct islands in particular. And I'm just paging through so you can see the photographs. I'm sorry you can't handle this on your own right at this time. But many of these islands are quite small, of those 4,000 islands. The capital city is called Tokyo, and it's Japan's largest. About one person out of every 10 lives in Tokyo, of Japanese people, I should say. And typical homes, most of the people live in those cities in kind of apartments, and these small apartments tend to be by the coastline, but then some people do live in the country. And so here you see a home made of wood. They're only about 2 stories high. You might wonder why that is, because of the climate there. And Japanese people always take their shoes off when they enter a home. Maybe you do that as well. We do that one in my home when it's raining. Here's some more pictures. If you want to freeze the video, you can look more closely. Otherwise, we're just getting to the point where we're pretty familiar with the format of these nonfiction expository writing pieces, where they're explaining using lots of text features like photographs. Here we have the word traditional. That's not the secret word, by the way, but pay attention, it'll be coming. And these bold words we know are often found in the glossary. So a glossary is an important feature to have in your country report. This particular book has a fact file where it talks more specifically about some of the key things that you might want to include. It also has more words that you can learn in Japanese. Sayonara, which you may already know is goodbye. Konnichiwa is hello, not the secret word though. Okay, just paging through. You can see fishing is a big industry, of course, if you're living in islands. You would have much opportunity for that. I thought this page was fascinating. It says the bullet train is the fastest way to travel on land. There is a rail link between 2 of the islands through the world's longest tunnel. And did you know that this train goes 170 miles per hour? I was curious about this next page. It says so many people travel to work by train or subway that passengers are pushed onto them by station workers. I'm just curious, how often does that really happen? Are they always stuffing people into the trains? Can you imagine getting on light rail and somebody coming up behind you and pushing you in before the doors shut? That's crazy. And what's happening on the other side? I have so many questions. Anyway, so here's just sort of a brief introduction into various aspects and the culture and the parts of Japanese life that you would encounter if you were living there or visiting there. Children go to school from the age of 6 to 15. Of course, then they go on to college. All Japanese children learn English. They also practice earthquake drills. They do not wear uniforms. Most of them don't, is what they say. They study very hard, just like you guys. Each night they do hours of homework. We don't give hours of homework and extra lessons. They work hard so they can go to a good college. Okay, oh, here's the page I did want to share. Sumo wrestling. Sumo wrestling is Japan's national sport. Each wrestler has to throw the other one out of the ring. So that's how you win. Millions of Japanese also enjoy baseball. Some of you may know Ichiro, who was a famous Mariner baseball player. And here we have the cherry trees, cherry blossoms, which many of our cherry blossoms along Seward Park and up at the University of Washington and throughout Seattle were given to us from Japan. Do you know what May 5th is in Japan? Well, May 5th is a holiday that they celebrate that we do not celebrate here. And it is called Children's Day. And so these kites represent Children's Day. And these kites are in the shape of fish called carp. It's a holiday on May 5th. People fly kites or streamers for the children in the family. Must be a fun time. Did you learn anything new about Japan? Did it create more questions for you? So what I have here is I'd like you to get out, you might need to pause the video, I'd like you to get out your notebook and put today's date on it and entitle it Things We Want to Know About Countries. Because these videos are not probably often looked at more than once or twice, I want you to copy some of these things down because they're going to come up later. So you may need to pause the video. I'll try to hold it real still. But as I'm talking, if you didn't pause, so these are some of the things you might know about your country that you're going to choose. Like, where is it? You might want to inform your readers about that. What language do the people speak? What do they eat? Holidays, things, what do they make, or what is their industry? We call that sometimes. Like, what do they export or ship to other countries? What do they do to relax? What is their biggest city? Well, there we go. The secret word today is Tokyo, because it is the largest city, the capital city of Japan. And what is school like, which is something we're always interested in. So your writing assignment for this week is to be thinking about countries, or a country rather, that you would like to do your report on. This may be a 2 or 3 page written report, but we're going to use this little graphic organizer to help us out in getting our ideas down. I will be bringing this by when I pick up your other work, or if you're in Miss Long's class, your math workbooks are at a tub at the school, and this paper will also be inside. Please take one. And at the top, I wrote fun facts where you could, once you've chosen your country of choice, you can list down some things that you found interesting that other readers might find interesting, and you could really dig and find some great information, I imagine. Chapters, this would be for chapter titles. A glossary would be those words that you would like to define and put maybe on the last page of your country report. We're not going to be doing like 6, 7, 8 pages, but unless you want to, unless you feel like you're passionate about it and want to put that time into it. But if you just look through this, I know it'll be better once you have it in your hands. I just want to show it to you. Most of this information can be found either in an online encyclopedia or a book about, so we're doing a little bit of research, a book about that. I will be getting in touch with Miss Burwell to get more information about websites, so I'll forward those on to you. So Culturegrams is one of them, I know. There's a couple of them on the Seattle Public Schools website. but I'll make it simpler, okay? So there's a lot of fun things you can do. You do not have to fill out this in its entirety, but I would like you to fill out most of it. This is just going to give you more information. The back page, no, it is not a white cat sleeping in a snowstorm. The back page is just for your notes, anything that you would like to put on here that you think would be important to include. How do you want to organize? Are there photographs that you would like to copy, or if you have access to a printer, print out that you could put into your country report? And I would like to share these, so it is something we should be thinking about taking seriously and making some time for. Okay, well, that's all for now. This is the end of video 4 or lesson 4. And until next time.